All right, with me today is David. David, what's your last name?
Denson.
Dixon?
Denson with a D. Yeah, D-E-N-S-O-N.
Okay, cool. Right, Mr. David Dixon. So basically, you do hauling. Is that what you do?
Yes, I do hauling.
Okay,
I
cool.
own a junk removal business, Mayday Hauling, based here in San Francisco. And we've been running for 5 years, close to 5 years now.
5 years. So it started like in 2016 or 17?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you different from other junk removal businesses out there?
I think what sets us apart, I mean, it's going to sound cliche, but I think what sets us apart is our attention to detail, our customer service, our ability to get our jobs done in, real quick in a timely manner. And then also, too, I got a big advantage because I'm from San Francisco. And we're based here in San Francisco, so I really know the landscape. I really know how to communicate with the people here. This is a big city, so things move fast. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big advantage for me too. So, I'm real familiar, I'm real comfortable, and that comes through to my clients. So they trust us, they use us, and they end up using us again more often than not.
Oh, that's interesting. So what got you into this business? I'm interested to know.
Yeah. So long story short, I was a friend of mine started some recycling company here in low income housing here in San Francisco. And when he was putting it together, he had asked me, because I'm from low income housing here in San Francisco. So he had asked me if I wanted to come supervise. And that basically meant that I supervised it was 3 properties that we were in charge of. So I just kind of supervised individual crews on doing the recycling. And then so we were going to start off recycling, and then we were going to also blend into the hauling part, where the illegal dumping, trashing out units, so on and so forth. But we never was able to get our stuff together in order to take over the hauling. But I remember the conversation we had with the guy who was currently hauling, and he said that between the 3 properties, he made $90,000 a year. And the light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, wow, he makes $90,000, and I know he's not working as hard as we are. So I kept that in mind. And then I started to do my research about what it would take for me to start my own business, to start my own hauling business, and with the trucks, with the equipment, with all the insurances I need to carry, with registering with the city and so on and so forth. And I got all that together, and I went around and I talked to property managers to see if they would use me if I, was able to get my stuff together to start my own hauling company. And all it took was one person to say yeah, and then I became a vendor for the property for that company, and the rest is history.
Wow. Okay. So what's your area? Is it just San Francisco, or where do you South San Francisco, Daly City? Where do you go?
No, we service the entire Bay Area. We based here in San Francisco, so that's like our target area, but we go all over. I've been as far south as Fresno, and I've been as far north as Chico.
Oh, okay, I see. So let's say, are you servicing just the residential, commercial? What exactly do you do?
Yeah, we do. Good question. We do residential. We do commercial. We do them both, and that's the good thing about being here is that there's a lot of tech companies, there's a lot of brick and mortar companies, and there's a lot of turnover as well in these buildings. So we do a lot of commercial, and we do a lot of residential. A lot of residential jobs come from Yelp. We advertise on Yelp. So we get the bulk of our residential stuff from Yelp, and a lot of word of mouth as well. So
how's business? Is it doing very well?
Yeah, business is doing great. We didn't slow down at all during the pandemic. That was a time for, a lot of people were home. A lot of people were like rearranging their personal spaces. Like I said, too, a lot of companies were going out of business or downsizing or starting to work remotely. So, and, all of that was to our advantage. We cleared out a lot of office furniture for a lot of tech companies. And we cleared out a lot of, people were clearing out garages and creating new spaces. So we cleared out a lot of stuff on the residential side and on the commercial side. So yeah, business is good, and we're not complaining.
Okay, let me ask you. So our audience is primarily small businesses, right? So
Mhm.
you're in San Francisco and companies are downsizing or phasing out things. Okay, so okay, let's say a small business person is listening to this and they need some furniture. Okay, I remember I was in San Francisco last year and these people were moving from San Francisco to Berkeley. They had some
Mhm.
really nice furniture,
Yeah,
extremely nice furniture, but they
yeah,
were not going to use it. So
right.
what's going to happen in that case? I mean, do you guys got to junk everything, or do you have inventory for small
Uh,
businesses or something like that?
yeah. Right now, we don't keep items in resale. Not at all. So, but if like say if there's a client who's used us a couple times, or if we have the time to donate items, and if a client makes a special request for us to donate a couple of items, not a whole load because that's a lot of work, but if they have a request for us to donate a couple of items, then we don't have a problem taking stuff down to the Salvation Army or to the Goodwill or whatever. But other than that, um, most of the stuff we do trash it. It doesn't matter how nice it is, because as you can imagine, we come across so much stuff. Like I would have to continue to pay for storage space and get more storage space. So, if something is really, really nice, I might hang on to it, but for the most part, we junking it all.
So again, let's say small business owner is listening to this
Yeah.
and say,
Yes.
okay, here's a guy he belongs to our network
Mhm.
and he has stuff. So can they call on you? Let's say they want to start instead of working from home, they want to rent a small space somewhere. So would you be someone they can call on to and say, hey man, and by the way, if you ever come across some nice furniture, let me know. Is that something that you could do?
Um,
Or they could,
I guess the short answer is no. I mean, the timing would have to be perfect. We would have to have it in our possession, and then get the call. We'd have to like have it and like be on our way to getting rid of it. That's probably the only way I could see myself like hanging on to some furniture, because it just takes too much time, and it's just extra work. Yeah, we in the
okay,
business of junk. We in the business of junking furniture, not saving it.
that's good. So what's your vision? What's your vision for your company? You said, okay, you're still not there yet. So I'll
Right.
ask you, what's the vision for your company?
Well, I mean, it changes. It changes a lot. I think um, in the beginning, I had thoughts of perhaps maybe franchising it. Um, so yeah, that was a goal. But I think right now, my goals are a lot smaller at the moment, and I just want to just have a proper team in place and just delegate some of the day-to-day work that I have to do, like some of the administrative work, just so I can focus on getting more accounts, and targeting more areas, so we can scale. So I've kind of scaled back my goals for my vision for Mayday at the moment, and I just have smaller ones, and that's just to like make our team and our operations like airtight on the admin side, because the operation side is easy, but on the admin side, I just want to make everything airtight. So that way, when we want to scale and go bigger, it'll be a very easy transition.
So most small businesses have challenges. And one of them is basically finance, right?
Mhm.
Okay, some of it is manpower. Every business has a
Right,
problem with manpower, but
right.
most especially small businesses have a problem with manpower. It might be because they don't have enough working capital. What
Right.
have you felt that problem?
Yeah, we don't have that problem, because we invest a lot back in our business, and our service is mobile, so it's not like we have to pay for an office space, and there's not a ton of money going back out. So I started Mayday. With $6,000 in cash, and I went and it was my last 6,000, and I went to the auction. I bought my first truck. I didn't pay for any. I didn't lease any trucks, or I didn't finance any trucks. I bought my first truck at an auction. I had just had surgery on my foot, so I
Mhm.
was so just picture that. I'm on crutches in the auction with my brother-in-law, and I saw a box truck, and I ended up getting the truck for 1850. Um,
Hmm.
and so after that, I got dollies. I got and I pay for my insurance and everything. and we were profitable for day one. I think the next 6 months, I think I made like $20,000. I made like 20 grand. And I knew from that point on, I knew this was what I was going to do. I wasn't looking back after that. So we've been profitable. We've been profitable every year. And, I don't see that changing at all. We've been doing pretty good.
So is there anything else you would like to add to this conversation today before we part ways?
No, I just want to say thanks for featuring me. Thanks for this conversation. And I'm in a very blessed and privileged position to be able to do what I'm doing, and I don't take it for granted at all. And God willing, we'll be here for a long time. So,
well, David, thank you so much for joining me today, Mr. Denson, and it was a pleasure talking to you. Okay, and once we're done, we edit the video and we're gonna put it on YouTube, and you can now, on social media, you have a Facebook page, right?
Yes.
Right. So we'll feature that. I mean, we'll give it to you. You put a link on your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, and all other places. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Nice talking to you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.